2022, it was a hell of a season, baby.
Indeed, it was. A lot
We
of ups, a
fought
lot of
hard.
downs.
We prevailed. We
Yeah.
Officer
went
Doofy.
down.
Officer Doofy reported for duty.
It's another episode of All Fin, the last one of the 2022 season.
That's gonna be two if he keeps playing Officer Doofy.
Go fuck
Reporting for
yourself.
quarterback.
God.
All right, guys, that was it. That was your. Should I say it?
Yeah, say it.
Your finale.
Closer to the mic. There you go, bro. That's
Nah,
what you
but for real,
wanted.
guys, that was the
All right,
last
that
game
was-
of the season. I've already spoken to your brother Martin a little bit about the game, nothing in detail yet. So this is gonna be like pretty much a full blown conversation. Well, we're gonna
Damn,
get into it. We're
crazy.
gonna talk. We're gonna talk about the game, and we're also gonna talk about the future next season, what's to hold. Martin, I want to start with you, man. How did you feel about that game in Buffalo?
Well, actually, I was pretty impressed from what I saw from the defense. After all these weeks of you guys and the rest of the fan base knocking them, they've played very well the last
I've been saying
6
that.
weeks.
I don't want to hear it.
5 weeks. They've actually held us together as a team. They put us in a position to possibly win the game. If one of those field goals turned into touchdowns, we're probably looking at a different ball game or
Yeah,
outcome.
you got to give credit to the team. They played their asses off. Like it's hard to be mad. Like even though it was a game that it was within reach and we easily could have stolen it in Buffalo with a third string quarterback, but like it's hard to be upset about it. If we would have gone to Buffalo and we got our ass whooped, all right, yeah, whatever. Then we go back to that same talk, the same old Dolphins, right? But no, they played their asses off, bro. And fucking flowers to the defense. I know we all got the news about Josh Boyer getting fucking shit canned today. But, I mean, like Martin said, the last couple of weeks, team has been allowing a little bit of points, and they definitely kept us in this game.
Before we get into the Josh Boyer thing, I want to ask you a question. How conflicted do you feel with the way the season went and the way they played in that game?
I think it ultimately fell down to not having your quarterback. I think if Tua plays, we win by 14. I think if Teddy plays, we win by 3. I just think Skylar, he didn't play a bad game. I'm not knocking him. He didn't play a bad game, but he couldn't finish it. And ultimately, what ended up killing us was falling to that 17-0 lead. We couldn't come back from that, even though we did. But at the point, you're not going to be able to contain Josh Allen all game long. At some point, he's going to come back and get you.
So
I'm glad that you brought up the notion of Skylar because I wanted to ask Martin what he thought about that game compared to the Jets game.
Obviously, he played a lot better. There was a lot of plays that could have been made by his receivers that could have changed the game too, including that first drop in the and again, this isn't to point fingers because Waddle all year Waddle has been one of those guys that you couldn't replace him. Like it was better him to be out there and drop those 3 passes or 2 passes he dropped than not being out there at all. But being that he's a rookie quarterback, seventh round pick, whatever, and being out there in a playoff game in a tough environment, you need to be able to help that guy out. The last thing you want is to possibly have him lose his confidence and play the rest of the game. And obviously, I don't think he did. I think that play ended that drive, but the rest of the game, he didn't look bad at any point other than his couple of mistakes. That first interception, whatever. Like I really was like, all right, whatever happens.
Rookie mistake.
The second one was more of him actually trying to make a play at the in the 3rd and 19. You're putting back. I think you're in the 5-yard line or 10-yard line. It was a dumb decision.
I think you got to know to dump off on that one, bro.
But did he have any dump offs available? I don't know. I can't recall right now what he had. I just feel like that was a rookie trying to like prove something that he can actually make, because it was obviously a cover 2. There was somebody over, there was somebody under. It wasn't the right decision. Either tuck it and run it or dump it off. That was obviously the decision. But overall, if I'm telling you I'm upset, or if I'm even agreeing with what he said about Bridgewater or Tua being that much better of a decision out there, other than what you saw in certain huddles which that would attribute to McDaniel more than to me than to Skylar. Obviously, Tua would contribute to it, but McDaniel has shown all season with Tua or anybody else, clock management has been a big issue. So really, can you really say it was Tua would have for sure looked a lot better? I don't think so. I don't think you could 100%.
I think so because those
that.
mistakes aren't there.
It's happened all season. You know how many times we've had to call timeouts or had
I'm talking about the
delay
interceptions.
of game.
I'm talking about the interceptions.
I want to point out.
Throws interceptions all the time.
8 interceptions all year. He throws it all the time.
Oh my God! Here we
in
go.
critical situations versus good teams where we needed him to win.
He played half a game concussed and threw 3 interceptions, and that's what we're gonna label it.
You're a doctor. You're a doctor.
Go ahead, bro.
How about this? How about this?
You know it.
You're a doctor.
How about this? Tua hasn't played in like 5 weeks, so let's move on. Okay.
No, let's not move on because everybody wants to shit on Jalen Waddle, and I think it's clear and evident that he's been playing hurt. He's been playing hurt since the Patriots game where he took that shot.
Shoulder.
Exactly, and if you look at that play, he clearly is trying to bring it in and already shield himself from taking that hit on his shoulder. And it's the same thing. And if we want to go back to those plays and be a little overcritical, if Skylar leads them on the 2 balls where he dropped, well, the second one was a good defensive play, but if he leads them, he's going for touchdowns. You know?
I feel like
go back and watch.
I feel like they were just draped all over Waddle. The only one I could say he dropped was that first one. Other than that, it was literally good defense. He always had 2 guys around him. It was schemed to stop Waddle. I mean, in those first 2 games versus Buffalo, the guy had 100+ yards and a touchdown in the last one. So you got to watch out for it. As far as that pick Skylar threw, Martin, that was terrible. I just feel like with him, they don't give him the opportunity to like really be himself. Even though like he says, I'm gonna be Skylar Thompson, and probably McDaniels does give him some stuff, but I feel like he locks in on one option the whole time.
He's a one-read guy.
He's a one-read guy, and that's it. And they don't really give him the opportunity to do anything else. If you notice, these past couple games, he's had opportunities to run, and he hasn't been taking off either. So I felt like that was a little sketchy there too. So something's up on that. Moving on.
7th round quarterback, bro.
I wouldn't say
you can't be too much on him.
If he's
of course.
If he's resetting often, how is he a one-read quarterback?
Resetting or hesitating?
I get what you're saying.
This game, you could definitely see that he got scared and was hitting the check down, especially.
You said the same thing in the Jets game, bro. You said the same thing.
No, we didn't say that about the Jets game because the ball.
You said he was hesitating. You said he was hesitating.
Jets game,
100% he hesitates.
Was night and day.
I don't think we have much. In my opinion, I don't think there's much to say negatively about Skylar Thompson after this week. I feel like he did. Yes, one more touchdown would have looked a lot better stat-wise, but overall, he did move the ball. There was a lot of drop passes that could have changed. There's a lot of drop passes, 6 drop passes total that could have changed.
Did he
either
or
stats,
did the defense put him in good spots?
Okay, but what are you going to say? You're going to take that away because he wasn't starting in good field position, that the ball didn't move?
There was no long, sustainable drive the whole game. He got a punt return. He got the interception that put him in scoring position.
I did not say he was. I did not say he was Peyton out there.
You're taking a lot of credit away from other people and giving it to him for no reason.
I literally started this. I literally started.
He sounds like a guy arguing about Tua.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm listening to.
Which game do you want to argue? Which one?
Every game. I literally started this thing without even mentioning Skylar. I literally mentioned the defense. That's all I did. So I'm not taking away credit from anybody. Skylar played a very good game. Overall, obviously, there's a lot of miscues that could have changed the outlook on the game. If he had three of those passes were caught, you're looking at over 300 yards. Just 3 out of 6. If 3 out of the 6 were caught, you're looking at almost 300 yards, a little over. So yards wise, I'm not really like doubting him. Should have had better outcomes in certain positions that we were put in good field position, that we could have scored a touchdown either on the punt return or a couple the interception return by Howard. Could he have turned those into touchdowns? Yes, of course. That's what I'm saying. He didn't play a great game. But do I say overall he didn't really put you in a bad position other than the 3rd and 19? The other one, it was not him putting you in a bad position. It was a bad pass. Done. The bad position was the 3rd and 19. That was a bad decision by him. There was nowhere to throw that ball. It really wasn't. You couldn't throw a perfect ball and have that caught. So it was a little different. But to say that he played a bad game, I'm not gonna say that. I don't care what anybody tells me. It could have been better, but bad, no way.
All right, Martin.
Back.
Sorry, I was gonna ask a question,
Go.
Alejandro, and it was so both of you guys. 30-19, you got Skylar in that position. You're the coach. What do you call?
What they've been calling all year, except for now. That was the weird part. That was the first time that they don't call screenplay on 30-19. Like
Bullshit.
all year they've been doing
it. It happened 2 weeks prior with Teddy in New England.
Which one?
It's like that's what I was. The one where he got hurt and hurt his pinky, and got kicked out, and then forced Skylar to come in and finish the game.
The pick
like,
six.
Pick six, right? And then we end up losing in New England. That's what the
first
was
thing
I said.
16 or something.
The moment it happened, I tweeted it from the page. I was like, okay, I guess we're not learning from our mistakes prior, And back to, I'm glad you mentioned that play because at the end of the day, I think 2 plays get highlighted in the loss, and it's the 30-19 interception, which you put Skylar in a bad position, halfback draw, throw wide receiver screen, get out of there, live to see another play, and not give up easy points. Yep. And then also you got cover 0 back to back. Josh Boyer, and then X gets beat deep, and I'm not blaming X on that one because nobody got home. That's what you got to do on cover 0. But it was just a bad play call, 3rd and long. What are you doing? And 2 easy touchdowns were given away on those 2 plays. So,
yeah, another thing I want to mention because you just talked about the defense. I know we mentioned already. Josh Boyer is no longer with the team. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't agree with that firing. He had a really good second half of the season. Towards the end, not second half of the season, I'm sorry, towards the end to close it out. I feel like that game versus the Bills was awesome. The defense played hard. They got the turnovers, and they put us in the best positions to win the game. How are you guys feeling right now about the defense?
Honestly, I'm okay with the firing. I know he had a good finish. I'm okay with the firing, but at the end of the day, we know this was a Flores guy. He was going to give himself a year. And at the end of the day, there's too many questionable plays that we can go back to. The Chargers game with the 30-19 where you let Eckler get you down to the 1. That play easily changed the game. 7-point swing there. And then we saw it again this week. Let's see who we can bring in. There's a lot of good potential defensive minds out there. I'm praying to God we get Vic Fangio to come here. There's a lot of toys. It's a nice team. Why? Who wouldn't be attracted to come here unless he's going to be with Sean Payton? Like, other than that, why not?
If Vic Fangio was such a good
no, he was
DC
don't
or coach,
knock
he would have a job right now. So.
He was a good defensive coordinator. His offense stunk. It just is what it is.
Come on, man. He didn't do anything with Denver, man.
Or what are you talking
about?
The
defense
defense was solid.
Solid.
Yeah, but wasn't he
really
good? Wasn't he the head coach over there?
He was, yeah. But listen, when you're a defensive mind, that's how it is. Our coach is an offensive guy, right? If McDaniels had a bad offensive year, like we hired Adam Gase to come and be the guru here, but we were 27th ranked in defense every other year. So
damn,
come on.
And Adam Gase wasn't a guru, so
well, he was supposed to be the quarterback coach, no?
That's weird that he says that, man. That's crazy because I remember Flores getting fired, but
Flores got fired for being a dickhead.
But not having a good offense. But he did a great job on the defense, right?
He couldn't hire anybody on the offensive side. Did you not? Always go back to Flores. All right, look at. I'm glad you brought up Flores. I'm glad you brought him up. That's the biggest difference between last year's Dolphins and this year's Dolphins. We played 3 games against Buffalo this season. All of them. First one, we won by 2. Second one, we lost by 2. This one, we lost by 3.
So
every Flores game in Buffalo, we lost by 25 plus. That is the biggest difference.
You're going to compare having an offense full of weapons versus 1 year of having weapons, because his only weapon, according to you guys last year, was Waddle, right? Because he had no other weapons, right? So now he gets Tyreek Hill, and McDaniel looks great.
The offense was a top offense this year.
Okay, so I'm trying to say it's like, so you're going to compare having a top offense and top weapons around him compared to what they've done. You guys, you're part of this conversation too.
No, because I vouch for the receivers more than what I vouch for even the QB at this point. So, and I've been saying since the beginning of the season, Tyreek Hill should be MVP of our team.
He is.
Well, that's not what you were telling me weeks ago when you said Tua should have been MVP.
This guy flops a lot. I don't even listen to this guy.
Listen, if Tua plays all season, he's MVP, no doubt.
I've been saying something.
So
Why?
what's
When
the difference
Tyreek
here?
Hill Tyreek Hill in his first year on the team just
My
got his
guy,
career high
my
receiving
guy.
yards using 3 different QBs, and he just broke
Let me
the
know.
franchise record in receiving using 3 different
Most
QBs.
valuable player. We won 9 games this year. 8 of
Okay,
them were with
and
Tua. Every
Tyreek
other
was
game we
not on your
lost.
team. Tyreek was not on your team last year, and look at what you had. Tyreek is on your team this year, and look at what you have. What's the common factor there? Why are you bad last year, and all of a sudden your offense could pick it up this
Everybody
year?
knows last year. Well, I've been saying it. The fluke of the streak. We played abysmal quarterbacks. That's why we got to come back and win
But
7
what
in the
does
back.
that have to do with Tyreek Hill making the difference on your offense, like Martin was talking about? And now you're telling me, like you told me weeks ago, Tua should have been MVP, and now you're saying no, Tyreek
Offense was
Hill
the
is
reason
MVP.
this team was good this year. It wasn't the defense. When the defense performed, we lost games. So it was all the wins were in the
I don't
first
feel like
half.
that's how the case for every game. I don't feel
Well,
like that's the case for every
rally
game.
them up. What game did the defense win us instead of the offense? Patriots was 50-50. Nobody, we had an offensive touchdown, we had a
Patriots,
defense touchdown.
Bills, Martin, help me out here because I'm pretty sure there's another game.
Not Lions, because the Lions threw for 350 on us.
Jets, who else?
Jets game, we played a backup quarterback.
Guy,
Doesn't matter. Your defense kept you in the game.
The 5-game win streak: Bears, Lions, Browns. Who else? Who else? I can't name them right now. All of those offense.
Browns' defense was amazing.
We had to put up 30 in all of them. All right, but we put up 30 points.
There's not many games you could say just the defense won us the game. There's not many of them. It's harder in an offensive league or a passing league that you're gonna find defenses that win you the game, because that would be scoring touchdowns. That's what you mean.
No, but
they would be winning you the game.
That's the difference between last year and this year. This was an offensive team where you just needed a middle of the pack off a defense, and you win games. But unfortunately, Tua was hurt for 5 of them. That's what this season all came down to, and we didn't have him in the biggest game we needed.
We'll see, man, because this sucks. I had to be lagging out another year because all I wanted was 1 full year of Tua. See what happens, make my decision. But of course, lucky little Tua gets another year. According
he earned
to
it.
Yeah, but you missed 5 games, so who knows in those 5 games what happens? Nobody knows. Oh, they're gonna say according to the numbers, he was gonna break records. He was gonna be the best quarterback in the league. He finished QBR number 1. QBR number 1 missing 5 games. The way he was looking, the trajectory of his season wasn't looking good to end. Just letting you know. So, like, who knows?
Why not?
That's what sucks. That's what sucks.
Why not?
What?
Why was the trajectory going down?
Because he played horrible the last 3 or 4 games he played.
So in the first half of Green Bay, he didn't play really good. Lights out.
What was the score of the first 3 quarters? We were
winning.
By what was 17 or 14 points?
I think it was 21-10 or something. We were winning.
I can't remember the stats right now. All right, whatever. So
he was playing lights out until he took the hit, and then that's it.
Okay, so again, I don't like that we have to wait another year or whatever to make a decision. No, whatever. I'm not.
And like I've been preaching, you have to see it through. Imagine letting him go, and then he goes to play for somebody, ends up being raw. It's like you have to see this through, bro. You have to. You can't let a Drew Brees situation or nothing like that.
Yeah, okay. The only reason that's happening is because he's under a 5th year option. So we're gonna get him.
It's the best time to win.
It's a good deal. It's a good deal.
Absolutely.
So you can't really pass it up. Although if he doesn't clean up the whole head injuries that he's creating, kind of, because he hasn't been getting hit hard, and he somehow drops like a baby, and look what happened around. But.
Mickey, you mean Mickey?
Oh, true.
Who's that guy?
Let's see, man. I don't know. Now we're gonna go into another year of so many questions. Can he stay healthy?
One question. That's it.
That is a big question because this team's ready. No, because how do you know? Can you answer that he's gonna be clutch in versus good teams at the end? Do you know that yet?
The way I see it,
do you know that
everybody's knocking him, and he didn't win a big game this season. He did enough to win in Buffalo in December. And we should have won Christmas Day if he didn't get hurt.
We ran for 170 yards versus teams. Buffalo in December.
I don't give a fuck if we ran for 300. You led and you went. And you should have won in Buffalo in this cold game, prime time that he can't perform in. And this
it didn't snow. Game. There was not one not one dot of snow until the fourth quarter. Just letting you know, and that's when he kind of didn't put anything up. You know that, right? Just letting you know. If you want to put up stats, put up the temperature stats.
Two things I want to give
then
you.
you want to shit on him and every other year where he's played in Buffalo and we've lost by fucking 30. All right, those were sunny 1 p.m. games.
I'm sorry, but if you didn't come into this year and expect him to do better because he has so many weapons around him, so many things to improve his game, like, bro, you have probably the top 3 tackle in the league blocking for you. You have top 3 receiver or 5 in the league. You have number 7 in passing, in reception yards in Waddle, because I don't know where to put him in tops anymore. You have a really good run game when used. What else did you want? Like,
but Martin, does that not come with being an NFL team? Like,
there's
I
a
went
lot
back to this. Like, Peyton Manning needed players. Tom Brady needed some guys. Like
sorry,
it's
but
just
those
what it
players-
is.
Manning
You can't win with
directed
nothing.
an orchestra
Oh, 100%.
at the highest level.
But did he do it in his
And-
third and second year? Like, no, guy. It took time for him to be great. His first
I
year
do
was
wanna give-
terrible. Like, yo,
I do.
I'm not gonna compare. I would never
do-
put him in that conversation of Brady and Payton. So I don't.
I'm
even care
not
about
putting
that.
him in that conversation. I'm just saying you need help as a quarterback. You can't do it by yourself.
I want to give the props to Tua because even though he missed so many games, the guy finished first in pass rating, first in pass TDs per attempt, first in yards per attempt, and first in yards.
Martin
completion.
doesn't care about your stats, bro.
So
I don't care
He
about
doesn't give
stats,
a
I
man.
do want to
shit.
give him props because to finish first and miss so many games.
But think
Dude,
about it.
shows
That
how
means
efficient
that
he really
there was
was.
games that you have available that you didn't play, so you're not gonna get knocked for your rank. Like, you don't lose 20 points for missing a game. You get me? So that's 5
Yeah.
games that who knows what happened. So like that. All right, he's great. Like top 10, that's great. That's a big improvement for last year. That's great. But don't be like he finished number 1. I'm like, bro, he missed 5 games. A lot can happen in 5 games. A lot.
A lot more could have happened because imagine he ended with
Agreed, but
he
you don't
ended
know
with
that. You don't
3,500
know.
yards, ended with 3,500 yards, and he was what 25-8, right? So if he misses 4.5, what are the numbers going to be at? 45 easy because that's him just throwing the bare minimum.
45.
1,000 more yards in 4 games. 1,000? That's nothing. That's 250 per game. He was throwing for 300 every game.
Again,
Come on
we
now,
need
bro.
we need a full season. I'm gonna.
That's the only question going into next season, bro. That's it.
I hate that I have to do it, but I have to fucking give me a do over next year because fuck.
Yeah.
Like at this point, like what am I gonna say?
Stop
Like,
with the do-overs, guy. All of you have already said that you don't want to anymore, bro. Stop.
oh
with
no,
it.
no,
Stop
that's
it.
fine. That's fine by me. I know that. I don't think he's the guy. That's fine. But I'm saying technically, what am I gonna say? I can't really give you a full year of information to go off. I can't. All I can go is that he didn't finish the year. He did well. There was a big improvement. I'm not gonna say he didn't have a huge improvement. That's of course that's inevitable. Like to say like stupid. Who am I gonna say that he didn't have a big improvement? But that's not just being an improved doesn't mean you're like he's gonna win most improved. I don't give a fuck. Like, are you gonna do something in the playoffs? Are you gonna get us to the playoffs? Are you gonna win big games in the playoffs? Like that is the question mark. That's what I have to see. Like this team is not built to just be good. You need to be really good with all the investments. Like what haven't we given this team? Not even just Tua. This team has been given obviously defensive injuries and quarterback injury. So you need to see what you're gonna get and quick because Greer, I don't know if he's gonna make it past the only reason he's making it past this year is because of Tua's injuries. McDaniel, there was a lot of mistakes from him going into critical situations. I'm not sold of him if I don't see next year improvement just in basic fucking tire shoes clock management. You know how many games fucked us because we didn't know how to handle those situations as a fucking I don't give a fuck if you're a first year coach. You've been around the league already 15 years? Like I'm sorry. Yes, this is the first time this has been given. Here's the keys to a team. This is the first time. But there's a lot more than just being an offensive coordinator. You're not gonna be that whole you guys, he's a great guy, he's a player's coach. That's only good when you win games. Once you're on the field for 2 years, if you don't get the job done, that's going away. Just like Flores. Flores look what he did with his first year. We literally depleted the roster. Depleted. He got a standing ovation for 5 wins. Next year goes around, one more game. If we win that last game, we're going to the playoffs, right? It didn't happen. So great defense, supposedly, according to the numbers, right? So sad. Next year, same thing. You're only gonna be given a chain, like a leeway until a certain point. If you
We
don't,
almost died there.
all the money that's being given up to put a winner, Stephen Ross wants a winner. He doesn't give a fuck how it happens. If you don't do it, someone else will do it. And McDaniel, I think, has one more year. Tua has one more year. Greer has one more year. Stephen Ross, I don't know.
I think that statement's kind of cute there and all, but at the end of the day, like the team easily could have quit after losing the 5 games in a row. You know, and you could see even winning that ugly ass Jets game.
Look at
they were still there.
But doesn't that go back to Flores? Flores lost how many games in a row, and look what he's able to do. That's very cute that it happened. Well, it happened with him too. He was able to keep that roster together, and look what happened. So isn't it the same thing?
Do I need to name him again? Do I need to name him again? Whatever. At the end of the day, I think the biggest change we need to see next year, I don't think McDaniel's ready to be the guy calling the plays and controlling the game.
Sorry, but if he's not doing it, then why is he here?
No, bro, you don't understand. Like, either he has to pick giving up the play calling or just running the team and being able. It's a lot to have on top of you on a Sunday, bro. And in the middle, especially on all these scenarios, things are coming up. Like, as we saw that 4th down play, he was told it was first, and it's like, oh fuck, all right, now it's 4th down and 4th and 1, and we got to switch everything. Like,
I kind of agree with Martin. If you're not ready to make those decisions, why do you take a job? Why did you give him the job in the first place?
Because if you're not ready to handle that pressure, if you're gonna roll, no. I'm not talking about the pressure. I'm talking about it's his first year. He's going to make mistakes. Like,
that's
he
fine.
has a lot on his plate.
He can't do it again.
Oh no, for sure. He has to show that he's learned from
or he's
100%
next year, 100%. But he needs to hire a really trusted, like, veteran, maybe an old coach, as an advisor that's going to be on the field with him. Hey, call play timeout here. If he's still going to call plays. That's the thing. I just think there's a lot on his plate where shit slips his mind and he's rushing things and he's trying to get things going. Like, and at the same time, this game, I feel like he should have dumbed down knowing all the new players he had, new left guard, 3rd string quarterback, and to help your guys a little bit. But see, that's something a first-year coach doesn't think about. A veteran would have fucking dropped his spider two banana, green, yellow, red, no, and he dumps it down to X, Y, Z, and that's it. And you get the plays going. But no, you got a 3rd string quarterback. You got a new left guard. Guys are hurt, coming in and out. You got to make it work, bro. But that I think that's the biggest change we got to see next year. He either needs to relieve himself from the play calling duties or get a good advisor to lead him on game day.
Wait,
all right,
that was for real?
Spoke about
I definitely do think that.
Oh, okay.
I honestly think he can't fuck up next season. He's already on the hot seat with all the dumb little mistakes, and especially the delay of game penalty. That I feel like that cost you the game at that point already. I want to ask you guys, since we already spoke about McDaniels, what we want from him next season. As far as the roster, where do you think we need the most help for next season?
Martin?
Linebacker. Linebackers.
That's a good pick.
The bad thing is I like Baker, but Baker's getting a lot of money. And he hasn't really shown to be one of those game-changing linebackers. So at this point, I think you might have to cut your losses and find the way out for him, because his contract, I think he's paying $18 million or something like that. He's getting a lot of money for the next couple of years.
I think Baker's on the books for one more year. There's too much dead money.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that is a biggest problem, because cornerback, I feel like will be, with all the people coming back from injury. I don't know what's gonna happen with Byron Jones, but I think they somehow work it out one more year. I don't know how, but if it was really due to injury that he was out, and it wasn't because he's not happy in a situation, then I don't see why you don't. Like, it's a lot of dead money in his contract too. So like, you really can't just expect to get out of his contract unless you trade him.
Nah, that boy's gone 100%. But yeah, I'm with you on that one. Linebackers, I feel like our linebackers are only good at plugging in those holes and rushing the quarterback. But in this day and age of football, you know, we play Austin Eckler and McCaffrey and all these guys that can catch the body out of the backfield, and that seemed to be our biggest enemy this year. Get some guys that can cover and play sideline to sideline and be those stumpers, bro. We need a real, true linebacker. And then also just have a little more depth moving in. I know injuries is what killed us this year, but you got to make sure. It's the NFL. Injuries are going to happen. You got to make sure you're ready and have somebody decent that can not have such a big gap in play when they come in.
I'm comfortable with the corners we have, even with injuries. To have lost 4 corners, I think it was throughout the season.
Yeah, that was a
To
lot.
say
Yeah.
that those are the people that were left, other than Crossan, because Crossan's a special teamer. Cahu, I think, came up big this year, man. Like to go from being maybe a practice squad player, or maybe not even making a team, to being a number 3 or number 2 corner. He stepped up big, and we don't know what's going to happen with Needham. They want to sign him supposedly, but do we know that we're going to be able to pay him?
I think the injury gets you him on the cheap, bro.
Does it?
Who wants a
100%.
cornerback with a torn
Martin,
Achilles,
or
dude?
I think it was an Achilles.
It all depends.
So-
I'm sure he'll get a couple mil, but he's not gonna get a major contract.
We need to we need to see who's going to get cleared up in order to bring something in. Who do you think, Ruff? What positions are? Oh, I don't know. I
All
think
right, guys.
for me,
Well, I'm excited for the. Oh, go ahead, Martin.
no. What position do you? What do you think?
I think I'm excited to see if they bring in a new linebacker, like you said. Honestly, I think we need to beef that up, and we need to get new O linemen. As far as depth goes, you saw as soon as Armstead went down, shit went haywire. Or if our right tackle went down, shit went haywire. We had to plug people in. So I feel like that's really important, especially with Tua having the 3, 4, I think maybe even 4 concussions at this point, because he's deciding to come back. So.
Honestly, if we can shore up the right side of the line on the O line, that's obviously one big thing on the offense.
Right side played good with Robin Hunt.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know if that's gonna be long term.
And Bob Jones plays right guard, and you got him on the cheap. That's his natural position. I feel like the right side solidified itself those last 2 games of the season. But yeah, man. I guess the important question to ask: was this season a failure or a success in your guys' eyes? Ralph, kick it off. What do you think?
Don't ask me. I'm conflicted. That game they played versus Buffalo made me just flip everything. So,
Martin,
I think the only reason it's not a failure is because we got into the playoffs, and Tua was hurt for 5 games. So for that, it's like an incomplete answer to me, because with all the injuries we had. And him missing 5 games, him being your starting quarterback, making the playoffs was good enough to be like, it's a B, it's a B grade. But I think there was so many things that could have made the season a lot better. So I'm gonna go with a B, just the playoffs has to put you over the hump, because I said C plus at the halfway point. So.
See, I don't think playoffs was the mark there just to solidify a successful season. It's the way they played in the game. If we would have gone to Buffalo and lost like normally how we do, I think that would have been the stamp like, all right, we're not ready still. But I think that, like I said, that's the biggest takeaway from this season. Buffalo's the elite of the AFC East. We show we could play with them. And with that alone, and you missed 2 for 4 games, 4.5, but this is that's the big takeaway from this season. If you're healthy and you have most of your guys, you can play with the elite of the AFC.
My thing with the NFL is if you don't win the Super Bowl, it's a failure. So that's why I say I'm conflicted, because I love the team so much, and the way they played in that game in Buffalo, I thought it was going to be a blowout. So that made me just like, whoa, okay, we actually have something going. And
one team makes it. One team wins it, bro. It's hard.
That's what sucks.
One team wins it.
Guys, if we don't got anything else to talk about, it was a great season.
Wait, hold up.
No. This is the last episode. We should fucking milk this shit. We gotta ask all the questions.
Oh, you guys want to keep going? Oh.
Yeah, dude. Fuck it.
Who was your biggest surprise this year?
Cater Kohu. Easy. Cater Kohu.
That I think that's
easy.
It's gotta be him, man. Like nobody else came out of nowhere, and you didn't even know who the fuck Cater Kohu was until you started getting these rumbles in training camp about him. And once Needham went down, that's when we really got to see what he was capable. And you just saw him progress all season long. It has to be Cater.
That's easy. But, okay, who was the biggest loss due to injury? And don't say he wasn't up for season. So I'm going to just take away Tua just because.
Brandon Jones.
Okay.
Brandon Jones.
Not having him killed us. We use that guy so much in so many places, and then the fact that you could play him in the back and then just bring Holland in the box too, that killed us not having him. Because I don't know, I feel like he could cover the tight end. I feel like he could cover the receivers. He could play the dump. It's just he plays everything. So that was a huge loss. Skinny, you.
Damn, that's a good pick, man. That's a good pick. But I know even though Dolphin Nation hates him now, I think we really could have used Byron Jones this year. Even if it was for 4 games down the stretch, he could have helped, man. He really could have.
I don't know what's going on with him, so like I'm not gonna.
He doesn't want to be here, bro. They know he was gonna
comment.
get canned, so he's not. He didn't want to risk getting injured, so it hurts his next contract. He
Martin,
made a business move.
What about you, man?
Yeah, Brandon Jones, easy. Like that's the guy that was a sure tackler for us. He was the one that would usually be the one to blitz, be in the box, while Holland does his thing in the back. Holland didn't have to worry about that coming down and getting that running back because Jones was usually there. So that would have helped. That would have helped our DBs a lot by having the guy that could be back in coverage and not have to worry about being in the box because Brandon Jones got it. So I think that would have changed the outlook on the season a lot on the defensive side. Although our rush defense was great, it was top 5. I think it was. Our pass defense with all the injuries, like what else did we expect? Like X can't cover everybody.
Yep.
So
no,
yeah,
he's gonna get burnt on some plays too. It's not gonna be 100% of the time. He's gonna be on.
Even the best get burnt, man. That's why I'm like, whatever.
But see that's why I'm glad Boyer's gone. This fucking cover 0 or leaving your cornerbacks on islands, like that shit is done with. I'm hoping we get a guy that plays a little more zone, and we get to really just see that front 4 go after it, man. That's what I'm hoping our defense transitions into.
Now, Martin, since you started this trend, I'm gonna ask you, what was your defensive MVP?
This should be across the board, man.
Yeah, because it was from literally week 1 to week playoffs. Christian Wilkins is hands down the best defensive player this year.
Really? Who the fuck are you picking?
He made the most plays, man. He was there on. If you say Jalen Phillips,
it's not a bad pick.
I can't disagree with you.
That's what I wanted to go with.
But in the first half of the season, he wasn't there. I don't know if it was either because there were so many people brought in to rush the passer. We brought in Ingram. We still had Ogba, Zealer. We had Wilkins. I don't know if he felt I guess too much pressure on his plate to perform because he had a lot of names because Ogba is not a name anymore. Ogba came and left. That guy's Houdini. He got paid and I'm out. He ended up getting hurt, obviously, so that doesn't help what I'm saying. But Jalen, I'm saying Wilkins hands down. 99 tackles or whatever he had for a defensive tackle.
And it seemed like he was making a play on. He was doing something on every play that made some type of impact, bro.
We were top 4 in rush defense for a reason, and Wilkins was one of the reasons.
Okay, so Wilkins had a great season, but I feel like another reason he had a great season was because also Zach Sieler had a great season as well. He put
up. No, wait, shut up. Who's your pick?
My pick was Jalen Phillips, but I'm telling you,
okay, then
I feel like
stick to him. Don't.
No, but I'm saying Wilkins, I thought had such a great season because Sieler had such a great season as well. It was one of his best seasons throughout his career.
But not only that, you have to worry about everybody on the defensive line, bro.
You gotta understand
the D line's nasty, bro.
The D line.
They gotta show more next season, but yes,
the D line's gonna work. If you have a dominant player like Wilkins, somebody else has to eat. And Zealer or vice versa was the biggest success story because of what this guy was able to do. Having a good D line, you're either gonna have one dominant or one a well-rounded D line, and we pretty much had a well-rounded D line, if you ask me.
Refresh me. Does Sieler play in between?
He's the nose tackle,
Phillips and Wilkins. Yeah, but he would play between Wilkins and Phillips, then.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, at the end of the day, they get shuffled all over the place, bro.
Yeah,
so this is what it is.
Who's
all right?
Who's your the damn? I already asked this.
What?
Offensive MVP?
Offensive MVP. Next one. I mean, and this one's gonna be across the board too.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill.
As much as I want to say Tua, he didn't play a full season, man. So you can't really give it to him. Tyreek Hill is your offensive MVP, hands down. Let me throw some names at you guys. Keep or cut. Let them walk. These guys are pending free agents. Trent Sherfield.
He was a good
Keep.
blocker, but I think there's in this offense you can't. I don't think I'm ready to have Hill just take beatings the way he was. We need somebody to be better. We need obviously I think it has to do with tight end. Sherfield was out there more because we didn't have the blocking tight end we needed. Smythe even got hurt in the
Yeah.
Bills game, so I don't even know what happened there. So I'm gonna say keep ahead of River Craycraft, but I'm still saying cut.
Keep this simple, bro. All right, Ralph, keep or cut. You said keep, right?
I said keep for sure.
Cheap
He had a
deal,
good-
solid number
yeah.
3 wide receiver. Why not?
Yeah.
He could even be a 4.
He knows the
Okay.
scheme with McDaniels and everything. So
Alande
yeah,
Roberts.
keep. He had a good season.
Martin. He's a leader, man. He's a
He
leader
got
in
a
the
good
locker
season.
room.
He had a good season.
Okay, I'll say keep. I'll say keep.
He's a for sure tackler, which is a problem on our team.
Mike Gesicki.
Depends on the deal.
Play the
and if they can
bagpipes.
work something out.
Martin started off.
Depends on the
RIP.
contract, bro. I'm gonna say keep if the contract makes sense.
He's gone, bro. Get the fuck out.
No, yeah, I agree.
All
Are
right.
you gonna
Raheem-
ask me? Are you asking me as a fan of Mike Gesicki, or are you asking me as a fan of the Dolphins?
I'm asking you if you were GM, what are you doing?
No, you have to cut him.
That's what
You
I'm
have to
asking.
cut
You
him.
have to
Okay.
cut him. As a fan of Mike
Raheem
Gesicki,
Mostert.
I hope we keep him. Oh,
Raheem
keep.
Mostert.
Keep.
Depends on the
bigger-
money.
I'm a bigger fan of Mostert than Wilson, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna say keep.
I agree with you. He had more of an impact. I thought it was going to be the other way around once we started seeing the flashes from Jeff Wilson when he first got here. But you could see this guy's over here trucking people and 7 fucking people on a plate, bro, and taking it. And I think he would have made a big difference if he was here in Buffalo for the Buffalo game.
Was Mostert really healthy all season? Is the thing. I mean, did we really get to see what Mostert's about?
I mean,
That's
we
why
saw
I
it
say
in
you gotta keep him,
flashes.
so.
We saw it in flashes,
Yeah,
man. But I think at the end of the day, you got to draft a running back this year. I think that's
Yeah, even if you keep
high
any of them,
priority.
you have to. Yeah.
All right. I'll
Jason
end it there, 'cause
Sanders,
I
keep
ca-
your cut.
I think
Oh,
he's still on the books, but he definitely redeemed himself at the end, bro.
my
he-
dog.
He deserves to stay.
Came through.
Oh,
He
yeah.
deserves to stay.
Morstead is a free agent as well. We better sign that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, he said he wants to play. Ralph was over here texting us sad the other day. Is he retiring? Our best
he's
player.
retiring, bro. He's the hardest working player, not
Punter,
punter.
yes.
No, player in the league. This guy's going up and down on the sidelines all game. He's not even
Yeah.
watching the game.
Yeah.
He's
He doesn't
working
stop.
out all game. It's crazy.
But yeah, what game are we going to next year, man?
It's crazy.
Washington.
Hey, I saw the. Why?
Let's go, man. Why not? Let's go to Washington.
Wait, well, who's our away games?
Nah,
KC.
Washington,
We play
Philadelphia,
obviously
KC.
Philly. Philly's interesting.
Oh, hold up, KC. I like KC.
Yeah, for the playoffs.
No, we play
You guys
KC
wouldn't do
in the
LA
regular
again?
season.
We're gonna play them. Nah, fuck no. I'm okay. It was nice one time. I hate that stadium. It's so complicated.
I want to see KC, bro. I want to see I want to
In the playoffs. We'll go in the playoffs. Don't
It
worry.
can't be that expensive to go there, anyways. Who wants to go to
Yeah.
Kansas City? So
That's
Yeah,
what we
right.
thought about Buffalo.
no, Buffalo.
Yeah, well, we did it so last second. When we see the schedule, we'll start doing that. And to mention when we just mentioned the schedule, we do plan on making some more episodes. If anybody made it to the 43-minute mark, where once the new year starts, we're gonna have some episodes. We're gonna do the schedule release, NFL draft, all that. We'll at least keep something every month until the next season starts up, guys.
who do you think we're going after defensive coordinator? Brian Flores?
That would be awesome.
Ryan,
I wish.
that guy
That'd be
would not
awesome.
come back here for
No,
all
of
the money
course.
in the
I
world.
would
bro.
never. No,
That'd
we
be
wouldn't pay him,
awesome.
idiot. Of course not.
Did you see after his interview with Arizona, the owner tweeted out, Eagle will not be tolerated. Now, it could be for Kyler Murray. Could have been towards him. I don't know what the fuck, but
He tweeted that?
they got tweeted. Yeah, Eagle will not be tolerated or whatever the fuck in this organization or something like that. Yeah.
I didn't even see anything like that. I thought he was only interviewing with the Browns.
No, he interviewed with Arizona, I believe.
But doesn't Arizona have a new GM at this point? Or
No, but he only interviewed for defensive coordinator. He didn't interview for head coach anywhere.
Yeah, I know.
Guy,
But yeah.
anybody would be dumb not to take that guy. I'm sorry. For the defensive coordinator, you're fucking ridiculous.
If nobody wants to work
Eat a
with you
bag
because
of
you're an
dicks.
asshole, bro. If you're an asshole, people don't want to work with you, bro. I don't care if you're the greatest fucking guy in the world, bro.
That's why the Browns are
I
going
hear
to be continue to be a joke franchise if they don't get their shit together.
Schwartz isn't bad. I would have
Yeah.
taken him too.
Mm.
As a coordinator only? Fuck yeah.
Oh yeah, that's different, but still, no.
Him, John Fox is out there. There's a couple names, bro, that are intriguing. There's Fangio's at the top of my list, but still, there's a couple guys.
We'll see. All right.
You guys did mention something before we go, and I thought it was interesting because something just recently happened. You said that McDaniels should bring in a guy either to call the plays or like a veteran guy,
Hand holder.
or a veteran guy to be like pretty much like an assistant head coach. Would you bring in Byron Leftwich?
No, because he's not a veteran. He's more of an offensive coordinator.
But then make him the coordinator, and then you're the head coach. Why do you say hand holding when that's the normal in the NFL? A lot of guys don't call plays. You just said somebody to hold his hand, and so as he goes through the game, that's the normal in the NFL. You have an offensive coordinator, a defensive coordinator, and a head coach. Like if he gets somebody or just somebody in his ear that he can trust, because even this season he couldn't trust the guy telling him to challenge fucking plays. Get somebody that knows what they're doing.
Tom Brady retires and he becomes the offensive coordinator.
That'll be awesome. Again,
that guy will be trying to suit up. That guy will be trying to suit up at halftime, bro. No way.
Or we hire what's the fucking guy that was just my God, the coach of the fucking Broncos, so we can have two people that can challenge plays and pick the right selection.
Oh, Hackett. I hope the Jets get him. The Jets interviewed him.
If Brady becomes a coach, you're gonna need a 53-man roster and 53 tablets as backups.
Oh God.
100%.
Last question.
All of them broken.
Please. Last question.
Last question. How do you address the quarterback situation moving forward? Obviously, you're gonna have to get a decent backup and pay some money for it.
Skylar's your backup.
I don't think he's ready for that, man.
Skylar's your backup.
Y'all ready for the name I'm about to drop? Y'all ready?
Byron Leftwich.
It's gonna be a terrible.
Ryan Tannehill. Yeah. I'm saying.
Oh my God, bro!
He's not gonna be in Tennessee.
He's gonna come here and take his job.
Yeah, right.
He's gonna come take his job.
I'll take Tannehill all day to come be backup, bro. Pay him $7 million. Hey, come on, let's go.
He's gonna take his job. I can't. I'll do it. I'll see that. If he gets to take his job, I'll do it.
So what you're saying is you're ready to take two at the same time.
Take two at the same time.
You want to use a lot of lubricant for that.
Yeah.
No. I still like Tannehill, and obviously Tua is the guy now, but no.
He's not the guy. Skylar is.
No, but I know Tannehill sucks. Like now, like obviously you had the bell horse quarterback, but listen, he was balling with AJ Brown. Don't disrespect that man.
Listen.
Don't you disrespect that man.
Is this guy flopping? Is this guy switching from
Tua to Derrick Henry?
He got paid again for a reason, my friend. They were a game away from the Super Bowl. One game.
Hey man, everybody's done. The Dolphins paid him once too. All right, let's move on.
They're about to give Tua to a fucking fifth year already.
Out.
That's it. Season's
Until
over.
next time.
Thank you guys. Like, subscribe.
Go fuck yourself, Ralph. Fuck you, Tua.
Fuck you, Martin. Thank you to Tune Out. Thank you to everybody, all Miami Dolphins fan base.
Motherfucker.